I'm going to talk about why the cell skeleton is never still and the importance of dynamic instability in microtubules. Microtubules are an important part of the cytoskeleton. They provide structure and shape to eukaryotic cells, and they act kind of like highways for organelle transport. So, to start off, microtubules are made of an alpha-beta tubulin dimer, a type of globular protein. I'll show alpha-tubulin in light green and beta-tubulin in dark green. A long chain of these dimers makes up a protofilament, a linear polymer of the alpha-beta tubulin dimer, which makes up a microtubule. These protofilaments arrange themselves in a helical manner, and a ring of 13 of them makes up a microtubule. So since the protofilaments are added helically, there ends up being a seam in the microtubule. It is intrinsically weak and unstable, and this is super important to the overall function of the microtubule. Another important part of the microtubule is that one end of it is the negative end, while the other is the positive end. The alpha-tubulin subunit is always on the negative end, and the beta-tubulin subunit is always on the positive end. This causes a polarity within the microtubule itself. What's also important to note is that the beta-tubulin subunit can hydrolyze GTP. So, microtubules are found in diverse structures, ranging from the cilia and intestines, which help us absorb food, the mitotic spindle orienting in mitosis, the axon in the nervous system, and even in the flagellum, which is a part of the sperm. Right now, I'll show you the example of microtubules in mitosis, but at the end we'll discuss the importance of microtubules and their proteins in male fertility and spermatogenesis. Here is a cell in metaphase with two centromeres, which acts as a microtubule organizing center, or also called a MTOC. MTOCs exist for cell-type specific microtubule organization, and they are where the positive ends of microtubules always extend outwards from. It actually has been found that in the centrosome, a protein called gamma-tubulin is essential for microtubule nucleation. It occupies the negative end of the polarized microtubules, and the positive ends of nascent microtubules extrude outwards from them. Now back to the seam and why it's so important. It allows microtubules to elongate progressively and suddenly shorten. This growing and shortening only happens at the positive end. This graph of microtubule length versus time depicts how catastrophes occur, causing microtubules to shorten and disassemble, then rescues occur, allowing for growth and assembly. These catastrophes are regulated by GTP hydrolysis on the positive end, which is the side that beta-tubulin occupies. Recall that beta-tubulin can hydrolyze GTP, so it hydrolyzes GTP-bound beta-tubulin into GDP beta-tubulin, making the protofilament bend, leading to a disassembly of dimers and a catastrophe. The intrinsic instability of the seam is triggered by the hydrolyzing of GTP, and the protofilament depolymerizes. There is now a local accumulation of dimers, and these are used to rescue. They assemble back onto the protofilament for regrowth of the microtubule. Essentially, the takeaway from this is that microtubules grow from microtubule organizing centers and harness their intrinsic instability to define microtubule dynamics and weave throughout the cytoplasmic space. Now we're going to look at a real-life function of microtubules, which really displays their importance. It turns out that microtubules actually have an association with male fertility. This western blot shows the gamma-tubulin immunoprecipitate bands in males with a low sperm count in lane 1 and normal spermatozoic males in lane 2, which means males with a normal sperm count. Lane 1 is notably weaker, and the study came to the conclusion that lower centrosomal protein expression in sperm may be the reason for some males' reduced fertility. This makes sense because spermatogenesis requires a lot of mitosis and cell division, and gamma-tubulin, as we talked about before, is essential to centromere microtubule nucleation, specifically in metaphase. This speaks to the fact that having effective microtubule dynamics is in fact vital to our bodily functions and health, like fertility. So this was a recap of what microtubules are, their structure, function, most importantly their intrinsic instability, and why this is important in real life and to our overall health. I hope you enjoyed it.